Oh, talk to me, Trotty.
I'll talk all day with that. I like this.
That might go in.
I'm Chris Trott with Team TaylorMade. This is more than just a number. I have Mr. Tommy Fleetwood stood right here, but also his TP5X Pix golf ball, and Brooke Henderson, who also plays the TP5X. Now, Brooke is leading this session because she's pulled us forward a little bit. She's got the numbers dialed. It's basically Brooke's show. You tell us the yardages, Brooke.
Yes.
And then you're going to have to hit first.
Okay. So the first pin is 154, second one on the left is 157, and then the back one up on the tier is 167.
Perfect.
Right.
So, Tommy, as Brooke's kind of taking control here, you can tell her what flag you want and what sort of shot you want to see.
Yeah,
Ooh.
have you got one club for all?
Well, yeah, I'll switch it up, baby.
I'll save the back tier flag for last. Let's go the front right for starters.
Front right.
50,
that wind's pretty.
What was it? 57.
54,
54.
I believe. It's quite a bit downwind.
Wind off the left.
Down and hard
down off the
yeah.
left.
Right.
What club you got?
Well, I don't know if I want to say that in front of Tommy, but I got a 7. I don't really want to hit a knockdown downwind, but I'm gonna just take a little off of it.
Okay.
Hang in there. I feel like the distance was okay, but kind of.
Would the other shot be a hard 8 or not? Does it just not
I could
fit?
maybe. I would like to know what that front edge is, and then maybe I would be able to hit the 8.
I'm not going to go pace it out. So.
I'll try one more here. Oh, same thing.
They're almost bang on top of each other.
Yeah.
In terms of control, I mean, it's a good putt up the hill, but in terms of control and shot shape, and what do you find? Both of you players, two completely different games, use this golf ball. So what do you get out of it, certainly for these mid shots?
Well, I love this ball in the wind.
Yeah.
I've always kind of struggled playing like British Opens and where it's really windy. But since I've changed to this ball, it really cuts through and I can really control it a lot better, which has been a big addition to my game, which is nice. Those shots, I didn't really play enough wind, but you can see that it cut through and didn't really affect the distance too much.
Let's get Tommy in here.
Yeah.
I like watching you hit iron shots, mate. You hit some absolute crackers. So let's challenge you a bit to the left flag and talk us through your process and how you get this done.
How far is it? 157.
Yeah, back left, yes.
Wind. Let me see. It's not going to help it. It's not going to help as much going to the left pin.
No, that's where I went. I thought I'm going to get him behind the 8 ball out the gate. So what information would you want to know here from your caddy?
The number to the pin, and then where I want to land it. So like, obviously, you know, the pin might be 157, but I might only want to land it 153. Might depend on what's short or what's long, how much room you've got. Then I'd want to know what that number is potentially playing, which to be in crosswinds, that could be your shot type will determine that. But yeah, we'd discuss what number we think it's then going to play, and then I'll have a shot for that number, and then I'll try and hit that.
Okay.
That's a tricky pin for this wind, I would say. It is. There's no green left, so it depends on how aggressive.
So with no green left and with this wind, would you start it right and hold it, or would you let it drift?
At 157, I would like to feel like I'm going to be as aggressive as possible still. I mean, the line might still be a yard right of the pin, but I would still like to try and be aggressive. And for me, it depends on the number. So like I could hit a hard wedge, which will clearly be a draw. That'll still fall right because the wind's very strong, but then I would have a shot, I would say shoulders 9, which is more like, so a full wedge 145, 146. My next shot up would be a hands to shoulders, I would call it 9, and that's like just
show
over
us that
150.
position, hands to shoulders.
Hands to your shoulders. That
means
good description.
It is, and I like it. But the reason being, I think what we can all relate to, or what we can try and relate to as golfers watching this, is the precision and the control that both of you two have. I mean, we're talking about a position that is a feel.
Yeah,
but it's just shy of parallel for you.
They're just all like shot descriptions for you to hit like your certain numbers, aren't they? Like that's all it is. Whether you actually do it or not, or wherever it goes, doesn't really matter. It's your description, and you're the one hitting the shot.
Yeah,
so that's
I
all
love
that
it.
matters.
Show us what you got then.
I'll hit the shoulders 9 while I've got it.
Beauty.
That one's better. That one's
pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So
Very
while we
good.
got you on deck,
Yeah.
should we go back pin,
Back
see a low one, or do you want the high? Do you want the high one or the low one? Because one of you can hit each.
I'll take the high one.
Okay.
Oh, she's taking the high one. I like it.
My high's not as high, so.
167. So like.
So let's assume what? It's
Well, I was
three
going
up
to
the
say,
ledge,
take
yeah,
a
how
guess.
far
It's
up the
like
ledge?
the ledge, the top of it might be 164, but the bottom of it might be 160.
Yeah.
So I want to land it at the bottom. It's going to be a very similar shot to hitting it to the left pin. The left pin was 157, so
Okay.
it's not going to be far off that.
But you're going to draw this a bit to get the chase up the hill, up the tier, or you trust you can blast
no,
that and get it there?
I don't think so, because for me that shot's a lower flight anyway.
Yeah.
So release is a little bit more like
I love
it's
it.
important. For me, it's important for this shot not to spin up. Like I need to hit the number and I need it to, react on the green how I want it to. So.
Okay. So this is a tough shot. Again, I've given you the tough ones, mate.
Yeah, you're all right. Oh, talk to me, Trotty.
I think it's great. I mean, I'll talk all day with that. Chase up there.
Yeah, great shot.
It was good effort.
It was a
all
great
right.
shot.
High one.
High one.
And then would you play high shot back here, Brooke, to this flag to really get it up that shelf?
I would probably choose the shot that Tommy hit, try to like run it back there if anything, just because it is downwind and you don't want to fly it all the way to the top tier and then have it roll over
Well, you
the
got a
back.
couple of golf balls in your hand. Let's see what you got. See if
Oh,
we
yeah,
can
well, I
get
didn't
two
think of
different
that.
flights. You talked yourself into that.
Yeah, I'm also going to try to cheat a little bit here and find an upslope.
Is that in the rules, Tommy?
I mean, she said she's going to try and cheat. She just is cheating. It's not no trying about it.
I'm not sure that is a great lie, but maybe a little better.
See, this one will have to start left because she's hitting a, it's going to get more winds. when
Yeah.
you start higher, so. Oh, yeah.
Go ball.
Great shot.
Thanks. I was hoping the wind would bring it over a little bit more, but
How much
The
would
ball's just too good in the
the
wind.
ball is too good.
The wind just doesn't move it.
How much would you read into the playing partners? So for me, like both, there's still quite a bit of room in there. I know it's not a flag that, if we're trying to get on the top, we're trying to be aggressive. Say it's the last hole and you want to be back there. How much would you play into, okay, my playing partners obviously misjudged this or got, not that the shot was, but you get what I'm trying to say. Would that impact you in your decisions?
Yeah, I clubbed up, I guess, so that it would be a little bit shorter so I could just hit the green for this instance. But if I wanted to hit it again, I could
Go again.
up one
Let's
more
go again. Show
and
us.
try to
Let's go.
put it back on the...
Good caddying, Tommy. You might get the job here.
Yeah.
He
There's only a
cleaned it
there's a
too.
tiny little mark in the sweet spot that I had to clean. I can do that.
I like this.
Sit
That might go
ball.
in.
Sit.
That's a great shot.
What a golf shot.
Much better.
That is a great shot. See, that's what I was
Thanks.
pushing for. That's a great shot. So let's do some fun stuff now. We've hit this absolute great one. How about if, let's assume that we were in a bit more trouble and you wanted to hit a huge slider that starts out left here
Yeah.
and cuts back in. And let's just see the movement. You've got the left to right win. Let's go that front pin on the right
Okay.
so we can see the ball finish.
Hey,
How
you're
much
stepping
movement
back,
do you
is
think you
that
can
me?
get on it?
Yep.
What club you've selected and how much movement do you reckon you can get on this?
I've picked a 7. You could get plenty out of it. The wind's obviously assisting you Sometimes it's difficult shaping it loads when you don't have a visual. If there was a tree in front of you, that like you can see the shot, but you know, yeah, I think we could get quite a lot of movement. Big slice going with the wind.
Why don't I put your golf bag in front? Should we go? Man, you might have valuables in there.
You just stand in
I
front.
was gonna, but now I was like, the bag's probably worth less than me.
I'll probably just hit it over you. So
exactly. That's not hard.
That's good.
Look at the spin on the green. That's awesome.
Yeah, cool.
I was quite pleased with that.
Yeah.
I was very
It
pleased.
was really good.
Brooke, we're not letting you finish on that great one. We want to see one more.
Okay.
See if you can follow that. So pretty much the golf ball does, if you're in a scenario where you need to move it, you can move it, but it gives you the control as well.
Well, yeah, and it's so important to be like you've seen some of the shots, and Brooke was speaking about the ball in the wind. Like for me, I always feel like one of my assets is being able to hit a strong one into wind, so that the into the wind not affecting it more. But this wind would be good for me as well because my draw will just hold that bit more. But at the same time, you're going to have times where you're asking the ball to do a lot of movement. So getting the both of them,
Too early.
having it to be able to do both is very, very cool.
Yeah.
One
You
more.
can do better than that.
Yes,
What club are you hitting with?
Well, 7.
No.
Well.
Hit 5.
Yeah, go on.
I'm stepping back in.
All
I'm
right,
cutting
all
in,
right.
I'm cutting in.
Just clean that sweet spot.
I'm trying to be able
Take your
to
seconds.
be firm with it, but
Will you ever put this into your practice where you challenge yourselves to hit shots for feels?
I think so. I think it's good to curve the ball as much as you can. You never know when you're going to need it, but also it is just creating feel at the end of the day.
It's a good golf shot.
sit.
Good golf shot.
Little
Yeah.
deep, but the
Great
right
shot.
curve.
Good
That was
golf
a great shot.
I think that's great. So last piece on this, what about if we had amateurs that wanted to get into a situation where, you know, they're watching this, they hear what you're saying. What would your advice be for someone to get fit for the golf ball, choose the ball? Do they perhaps start here? Do they start closer? Do they start on the tee box? What would you like to see, or what would you recommend to someone?
Well, for me, when I was making the switch to the ball, it was really important for me to gain a little bit of distance with my long irons and my woods, which it definitely did. But I didn't lose any control in terms of around the green and the feel around the green, which was great. And, you know, still being able to hit shots that move and being able to cut through the wind. So, I mean, it has a lot of things really going for it. And I think you just kind of have to figure out what's really important to you, like if it is gaining extra distance or if it's the feel around the greens, and maybe start there.
Okay.
I think, yes, I mean, Brooke's made a great point because she's kind of let the golf ball, like, give her extra dimensions to her game straight away. So without having to start searching and maybe doing something different that might take away from something else, she just let the golf ball, like, improve her game as well, which is, like, the perfect scenario, really. And like she says, you have to know, like, what you want out of the golf ball, or know who you are as a golfer, what shots you like to hit, what shots you maybe struggle with, and see if the ball can actually help you and add to that.
Okay. And then I notice obviously you're hitting picks here.
Mm-hmm.
What's the thinking there, and why into this design versus a solid white or yellow?
Well, I don't have to identify it, which is one asset. But for me, there was a lot of there's a couple of things. Like, I like the thick white strip in the middle. Helps me align with my putting. It helps. It's a nice visual for me to see it roll. Sometimes I'll use it on the tee, but I also like there's a fully black light diamond on the top there, which I like as a reference when I put it down. Sometimes it's just my eyes focus on that, which is something very, very simple.
When putting,
Putting or teeing
or
off, and
teeing
it's
off.
like when all else fails. Or, you know, you get nervous or you want to focus on something that just grounds you. Like for me, whenever I've done all my work in my pre-shot routine, when I just step up and I just look at the black dot on the top of the ball, like everything's done at that point.
Silences. That's good.
I love that.
I do
That's
like
cool.
that.
Yeah.
I'll be testing them next week.
Yes, me too.
Guys, that is Brooke Henderson and Tommy Fleetwood, two of the best in the game, certainly at hitting these shots, but two of the best minds as well. You can learn a lot from their golf ball choices. If you want to know more, please go to TaylorMadeGolf.com, where you can support these guys as well in our Team TaylorMade staff professionals, and also learn more about the TP5 and the TP5X golf ball.